Well, hello everyone. Hey, Jason here. This week's episode is going to sound a little different. So Robert, my co-host, he's out of town, so it's just going to be me tonight. No back and forth, no banter, it's just a conversation between you and me. And maybe that's how this one needs to be. The topic I want to talk about tonight is deeply personal, and not just for me, for a lot of people that I know, maybe even for most of us. We're talking about the state of mental health in America. Not from a clinical perspective or a political one, but from the everyday trenches of being a human and trying to hold it all together in a world that feels like it's constantly falling apart. Now, this episode's pre-recorded and it's edited because, I'll be honest with you, I'm not in a place right now where I can do this live. And I think that's important to admit. I'm working through some personal pain, and I'm not going to get into the details, but it's enough to say that I'm right in the middle of the storm. And that's why I'm here. Because if you are too, I want you to know that you are not alone in it. So tonight, let's slow down together. Let's look at how mental health has evolved, what's breaking us, and what we can still fix. And if we can just remember how to be human again. We've come a long way in how we talk about mental health. I mean, decades ago, depression wasn't a diagnosis, it was a phase. Anxiety wasn't a disorder, it was just nerves. Talk about trauma. That was something you were supposed to just get over. I mean, back then, therapy was for other people. And now it's practically a rite of passage. We've normalized talking about panic attacks, ADHD, executive dysfunction, trauma response, burnout, things that were invisible for generations. And it's not just vocabulary. I mean, neuroscience has caught up with empathy. We can literally see the way trauma rewires the brain. We know serotonin isn't just a happy chemical, it's part of the entire feedback system shaped by diet and sleep and stress. But with awareness comes complexity. Now nearly everyone can find a label that fits. And while that's helpful, it also makes mental health feel like an epidemic with no cure. We scroll through content, diagnosing ourselves on the fly, and we share mental health memes that, while funny, I mean, they're also painfully true. We are more aware than ever, and yet more overwhelmed than ever. Sometimes I think that's a paradox of progress. We finally have the vocabulary to describe the pain, but not always the tools to relieve it. Awareness alone doesn't make the weight disappear. It really just gives it a name tag. But it's a start. So the first step to healing is always naming the thing that hurts. So even if we don't have the answers, the fact that we're finally talking about it is a quiet revolution. But here's where things get complicated. The mental health crisis isn't happening in isolation. It's unfolding in the middle of one of the most divided times in modern history. I mean, if you turn on the news or open social media or step into almost any public space, you can feel that tension. We have turned disagreements into warfare. And whether it's about politics, identity, or ideology, it's all exhausting. We are living in an age where people don't even debate to understand, they debate to destroy, and empathy's been replaced by outrage and curiosity by condemnation. And when you live inside of that kind of constant psychological warfare, it eats away at your nervous system. I mean, there are studies now that show that chronic exposure to conflict, even like digital conflict, triggers the same fight or flight mechanism as real-world threats do. I mean, that means your brain can't tell the difference between an angry comment section and an argument that's happening in your living room in front of you. Either way, you still get flooded with cortisol and you still burn out. The mental toll of polarization is massive. And it's not just because it's stressful, it's because it isolates us. And when we only talk to people who agree with us, we shrink our world down to an echo chamber, and we lose the music of listening. And that loss of empathy makes every disagreement feel like an existential threat. I see this all the time. It's people who would have once shared a coffee now can't even share a sentence together. And I think that kind of disconnection is more dangerous than we realize. Because when we stop seeing each other as people and start seeing each other as positions, we lose one of the greatest protectors of our mental health, community. So then let's add another layer, technology. I mean, we live in a time where everyone has a voice, and yet somehow we've never been lonelier. I mean, social media has connected the planet, but it's fractured our attention. It's turned us into performers, curating joy, manufacturing confidence, editing our insecurities into digestible content. We chase validation like it's oxygen, but it never fills us. Because digital applause is a transaction, it's not a meaningful connection. Algorithms don't reward peace or balance, they reward emotional volatility. This anger, this envy, outrage, that's what gets clicks. And the more we engage, the more the system learns what hurts us, and it feeds us back to us like this drug. But here's the thing, I mean, we built this machine, and now we're living inside of it. We're anxious, we're overstimulated, we're starving for authenticity. I mean, if you've ever put your phone down and just felt this wave of great sadness, that's not random. That's withdrawal. Our brains are adapting to constant stimulation, and when it stops, we feel the vacuum. I mean, it's no wonder that depression and anxiety rates are skyrocketing, especially amongst the younger generations who've really never known a life without this constant digital heartbeat. We were not meant to be this plugged in, and yet this is where we live now. We are half in the physical world, we are half in the algorithmic one. And I don't think it's hopeless. I mean, technology isn't evil. It's just loud. And sometimes healing begins by turning the volume down. Look, I want to step out of the analysis for a minute and just be human with you. The reason I chose this topic isn't because it's trending or because I wanted something heavy. It's because I'm feeling it deeply. The weight of grief and confusion and uncertainty, that sense that no matter how much progress we make, something inside still hurts. And I know I'm not the only one. I mean, maybe you've been there too. Maybe you're there right now, trying to stay strong while everything feels fragile and trying to be present for the people you love, even when your heart feels like it's held together with tape. It's a strange kind of quiet battle. But I believe there's courage in honesty, and I believe that there's power in saying, I'm not okay right now, but I'm still here. I mean, that sentence alone might be one of the purest acts of strength that a person can express these days. If you're out there and you're listening to this right now, and you're in that place, where every day feels like a slow climb back to yourself somehow, I want you to know that you're not weak. You are participating in the most human act that there is. It's surviving the weight of existence. And if no one's told you today, I'm proud of you for being here. So where does this all leave us? I think it leaves us in a time where we know more about the human mind than ever before, yet we feel less understood than ever. Where empathy's become radical, and where loneliness has become the most common shared experience in the world. But awareness isn't the end of the story, it's only the beginning. The next chapter is what we choose to do with it. I mean, we can choose to lead with curiosity. We can choose to respond with grace instead of reflex. We can choose to build community again, even if it starts with just one honest conversation at a time. Empathy is not naive, it's strategic. And it's how we repair what's been broken between us. And understanding, like true understanding, it doesn't mean agreement, it means respect. If there's one takeaway tonight, I hope it's this. The state of mental health in America isn't about the individuals, it's about the space between us. It's about how we talk, how we listen, and how we care for each other when things get hard. And if we can learn to hold space for each other and each other's pain, without judgment, without comparison, and maybe we can finally begin to heal, not just as individuals, but as a culture. So be gentle. Be gentle with yourself, with others, with the world. Look, we're all walking each other home. right? Listen, I want to thank you all for spending this time with me. And if this episode connected with you in any meaningful way, please share it with someone who might need to hear that they're not alone. Next week, we'll be back to our regular agree to disagree format, but I really hope that this one gave you something to reflect on. Something human. So until then, take care of your mind, take care of your heart, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody.